Quick look at the papers. Guardian breaks the story of the photo appearing to show the Prime Minister and members of his staff failing to socially distance in the Downing Street garden in May of 2020, at a time when mixing was heavily policed. The Downing Street spokesperson has insisted the gathering was a legitimate work meeting. Talk to the Deputy Prime Minister about that, should we? Here comes a question about that photograph that's on the front pages of the papers today. The PM enjoying wine and cheese. I know you're going to say that it was a business meeting, etc., etc. When was the last time you took your wife and baby to a business meeting?
Well, in fairness, I don't live in the place of work where I work. So number 10 Downing Street and the garden is used for work. It was used throughout that week. I think the PM was there seen just after the press conference he'd done, and people, folk at home will remember the daily press conferences, and he'd had meetings earlier, I think, with the Health Secretary earlier in the day or in the week, and you can see staff there, and look, so it's fundamentally a place of work. So this was not a question of whether...
You can't take your baby to work, especially when we're in the middle of a lockdown and a COVID pandemic, surely?
Well, but Kate, as you know, number 10 is also the residence of the Prime Minister. He's got a very young family, and I think if you begrudge his wife coming down in a break from the business of the day,
I don't think that's right. She's not just popped her head round the door, has she? She sat down with the baby, nursing the baby. There's wine on the table, there's cheese there, there's at least 14, 15 other people in the garden.
And that's because it's a place of work. They're all in suits. Or predominantly in informal attire. Well, the picture I saw had people...
No, it's on the screen at the moment, have a look.
But I think a large number of them... to be honest with you, look, the Prime Minister is in a suit, the officials there. But look, the point I'd make is this. Look, so some of them have taken their jackets off, but Kay is changing your tune.
No, I'm asking you. I'm trying to see your point of view.
Then let me answer. Let me answer. You normally do. You're normally fair about these things. This is a place of work, but it's also the residence of the Prime Minister. And sometimes, as in many work situations, particularly given the pressures that the number 10 team are under, they might have a drink after the formal business has ended. That is not anything to do with the social mixing rules, and it's consistent with the guidance at the time.
Let me ask you this then. Why would somebody take a picture of a business meeting?
Well, who knows, but there's been all sorts of pictures like that flying around. Clearly someone with an animus, but I don't know, is the short answer to the question.
But if you were in number 11 and you saw people gathering in the garden, you wouldn't think, oh, that's a lovely picture. It's like a Rembrandt. I'll just take a quick photograph of that.
I don't think it looks like a Rembrandt.
No, it doesn't. It looks like people gathering when they shouldn't be. And so people at number 11, being a little bit mischievous, are taking a photograph of it and thinking, I'll put that in my back pocket for when I need it.
I couldn't possibly comment on someone's motivation. What I can say is number 10, including the garden, is a place of work, and they were there having worked.
Can you accept that it looks a bit dodgy?
It looks a bit... Look, I certainly take your point that perception with the public is very important. What I would say is I point to and let people look at the photo themselves. Number 10 is a place of work, also the Prime Minister's home, and they use the garden for work meetings, and that's what you can see.
OK. Do you anticipate being called back to Parliament before Christmas?
I don't anticipate it, but the PM has been very clear that if there were changes in the regulations, that would require a decision of Parliament.
OK, I'm always keen to hear what you have to say, Deputy Prime Minister. I'm sorry if you felt that I was talking over you. Hopefully I'll see you again soon. I'm sure I won't see you before Christmas. Have a very lovely, peaceful one. Thank you with the family.